Yes! Hello! It's me, Cynthia, from the Facebook meme page, Cheerful Nihilism. Both of the pronunciations are correct. I'm gonna say that for the rest of my life. I'm gonna have I have issues. I have a hang up about it. I think it's because my older sisters used to make fun of how I pronounced words. I learned a lot of my vocabulary from context because I read voraciously as a child. And so I ended up mispronouncing a lot of things for an extended period of time. I'm on a Facebook ban. This is like the third or fourth or fifth. I don't even remember. But they've been happening with increasing frequency. And actually, I guess if you Google the Zuckening or getting zucked, either with two C's or a CK, you'll find a lot of memes about it and people getting their pages suspended or discontinued. Or the problem is that the way that Facebook approaches enforcing community guidelines, it kind of allows the system to be used as a way to harass and abuse others if you so choose. For example, if you're banned, you can still make complaints about other people. So if someone bans you and you know that they have banned you, you can actually go and vindictively report them. And for the most part, Facebook doesn't really catch their errors. I've had people tell me, oh, if you complain, they don't take it off. They never take it off. Then again, I've never had luck interacting with authoritarian systems, like never in my entire life. Never gotten out of a traffic ticket, never got a lighter sentence or less severe penalty from faceless, nameless institution or organization. So, I mean, it might be possible for other people to do it. I just am cursed and have horrible luck or no social skills when it comes to talking to people in positions of power. Because I don't think anybody is superior to anybody else. I'm not, they're not, you know. I am, at this point in my life, I'm 38 years old. I've had a number of careers of varying success. I know that basically nobody knows what the fuck they're doing and everybody is just bumbling their way through. A very few people are masters at their craft. And those people are not necessarily the people that own businesses or have a lot of money. Because being financially successful is not really a marker of anything other than knowing how to play the system. Like who I am as a person, I'm very proud of, because I've worked hard to be here. And I work hard to continue to be here. Even though I live in that sweet spot that's between being suicidal and being dead. You know, I've been in therapy for over 20 years and I have a master's degree in psychology. And not to say that any of that endows me with any experience or expertise. It's just that it's, when you have those, you kind of have a more of a window, I guess, into what it takes to have expertise, even if you don't yourself. You know, I understand that the thoughts that I have are just thoughts. They're not real. They're not who I am. So I'm not really suicidal in terms of having an action plan or actively wanting to kill myself. I just, you know, I have a really, really difficult life. I'm not gonna lie. I have never had an easy path. Put it that way. But I'm okay with that. I am on a 3-day Facebook ban again. I think the problem is that, and I'm guilty of it too, I'm not gonna lie. You know, you see things on Facebook, unless you're in a direct interpersonal interaction where there's some intentionality behind what is being shared back and forth between people, nothing that anybody posts is about you. So if you feel offended, it's because of you. I mean, ultimately, that is the truth. If you stop focusing on everything else outside of you and take that locus of control inward, I mean, it makes me less perturbed. Different strokes for different folks. You don't have to be offended. I guess the thing is, if your immediate reaction to something is anger, maybe you should hang out with that for a second and figure out why you're reacting. Because then it's a reaction, it's not really a choice. But I realize that, I can't control other people, and the internet is the fucking Wild West. But as it stands, Facebook is kind of the biggest social media platform in the world, and it's the one where, I can reach the most people. So what do I do? Somebody has been reporting a lot of my publicly accessible posts on my private account, like my personal one. So I guess I'm going to have to lock that down and not do any more publicly accessible posts that people can just report as spam. And then when I contact Facebook about it and say, like, me commenting on the fact that I'm not banned anymore, like, I made a status that just said unbanned, and it got marked as spam. And then I made another status that said, I don't understand why people keep reporting me on Facebook for spam when I don't post spam. It's just my status. That was reported as spam and pulled. This time I actually contacted Facebook, and I just got a bunch of form letters. And then I got to the point with my back and forth with them where they no longer were accepting any of my screenshots and my receipts, my evidence that somebody was just reporting all my shit, that none of it was spam under the definition of their own community guidelines. It's not spam. And I'm saying it's not, and they're like, oh, yeah, well, you better watch out. Just don't post spam anymore. Actually, like, the guy that had me banned last weekend, I emailed back and forth with him, and I mean, he was definitely like a douchey white dude, because he was asking me for screenshots. He didn't believe me. Like, I'm gonna pull this out of my ass. He didn't believe me that his report caused me to have a 3-day Facebook ban. And I showed him the screenshot, and then he was like, oh shit. And he tried to email Facebook, and they were like, no, sorry, blah, 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 blah. Like, they don't care. They don't give a fuck. Because I'm not feeling safe anymore on Facebook using my personal account. I feel like there's somebody or multiple people that I have pissed off, or that don't like what I say, or just like hate my fucking fucked up crooked face and my acne scars. I don't know, because like, that's the kind of comments and private messages that I've dealt with. If it's that situation, then there's nothing I can do about it, because closure has to take place in that person's mind. It doesn't even have to involve me, but they're not going to do that. Maybe it's just been, a series of random individuals that have the same random reaction to anything that I post. I don't know. I'll never know. And quite frankly, because I have complex PTSD, it doesn't really matter if it's even true or not. Like, if I don't feel safe, then I don't feel safe, and until I can work through that, that's just the way it is. That's where I am right now. It's just yucky. It's a yucky feeling. Also triggering for me in terms of my past trauma, because in my experience, systems of authority really don't care about me and have actively punished me. In 2011, my ex, who's the father of both my children, accused me of kidnapping when I was down in South Florida staying with a friend of mine's parents. And, the police came and took my child, who has autism, and gave me supervised visitation, because I'm very open about my mental illnesses and, my struggles. I can't not be. But it was held against me, and, I was considered like a flight risk, unstable, and unfit mother kind of a situation. And I got supervised visitation. Nobody listened to me when I said I wasn't kidnapping my child. I was scared, and I was basically hiding with friends, but he got mad. Anyway, nobody listened. Nobody listened to me. When I reported my former dissertation committee chair, my advisor, my thesis advisor for my doctoral studies for data theft to human resources, because I saw a picture of her standing at the American Public Health Association conference in front of a poster board about my data set, and it didn't have my name on it anywhere. Just a bunch of people that I didn't even know. She didn't think I would see it because I didn't go to that conference that year because I couldn't afford it. But somebody else posted it on Facebook, and I grabbed that screenshot, and then I waited a couple months because I couldn't believe it. And then I reported her. Nothing happened. She has tenure. It doesn't matter. She gets to stay and have her career, and you know, I get to have it doubled down on me that nobody's gonna listen to my story. Even if my story is true, it doesn't matter. There's no just world. There's no justice. That's the way the world is. People get victimized every day, and they're just thrown away like garbage. And then what happens? Then you live as garbage. Therefore, you know, nihilism. By the way, the shop is still going because I'm poor, so, you know, help me out. I'm going to have a hysterectomy probably in the next 2 weeks. I'm still waiting on my endometrial biopsy results. Because that's what informs the treatment protocol, and also I don't get insurance approval until that comes back. So, yeah, I'm just in limbo waiting for that. My son's birthday happened, and their dad was supposed to take them to the beach yesterday. And right after I got banned, I was going to take him to meet him, you know, drop him off. I got confused about where I was supposed to meet him. I guess he wanted me to meet him at the place where he was having a business meeting. And I ended up hanging out at his house. But I was texting the whole time, and like I texted him when I got there, and no response. And then I finally called, and he was slurring his speech. And it took like a loud 15-minute argument where I got hysterical, because when I get gaslighted, it really sets me off. And I was like, "You've been drinking?" And he said, no. P.S. if you lie about your drinking, you have a problem. You're an alcoholic. Finally, he says, "Well, I've had 2 beers, not 1 or 2. 2. Oh, that's very convincing. And let you drive them for 2 hours to the beach. No. So I have to be the bad guy, which is fine. I'm always the bitch. I don't care. That's who I am. I own it. I'm a miserable cow. I'm a psycho, bitch, crazy, horrible, nasty woman. Whatever, I don't know. You know, it is what it is. You know, I had to deal with my kids being upset and devastated. I had to deal with endless text messages from him about how I'm a selfish bitch and I ruined my children are going to be ruined because of me, and you know, look at myself and my life, and like, fuck yeah, my life sucks. I have made a lot of poor choices, and I'm also the victim, literally a victim of shitty circumstances and systems that I am powerless against. So yeah, I have a lot to reflect on as to how I'm a horrible person. Okay? Yeah, so that's my situation right now. I wish I had like a better, more optimistic vlog for you. I just wish people would stop reporting me on Facebook, but I know that's not going to happen, so I don't really know what to do next. I'll let you know though.